Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. Love this song. Alright, seems like everything's working. And we'll continue on where we left off. Alright, seems like everything...
We left Volga behind. The endless expanses of Russia stretched before us now. The bridge dwellers had finally decided to believe that we were not demons, and let us pass. Anna was right. We invaded their world, and it's not up to us to destroy it. No matter how stupid it may seem. Electricity is a sin. Is that really worse than the lies we were told in the metro? About how the whole world was dead and there was nowhere to go? Everybody in the tunnels bought that convenient lie. Once we reach Yamantau, we will at least know if that lie was justified. Since so far, we haven't met any signs of enemy occupation.
Dad says all those are coded transmissions, that they all have hidden meaning, but... Why would they be so secretive? Why aren't they using this railroad? Why don't they at least control its key junctions? Why did they not install any roadblocks? If they are even out here.
I'm here.
Hey there, my darling. Didn't want to let it get too far because I didn't want you to miss too much.
This is the main transport artery, after all. Maybe they are not here at all. Maybe they never came here, or they are already gone. Remember? Neither Katya nor Crest have ever met them. Though we seem to be doing just fine even without them. It's like the Middle Ages. That Silantius is treating people like slaves, getting them killed. I can't believe they had it worse without his lies, nonsense, and human sacrifices. And us? We had been living down there for so many years, fighting each other. And nobody even thought you could live outside.
Alright. Sorry, I gotta go.
Uncle Artyom, Uncle Tokarev has already set his shop up. Wanna go look? It's so cool. Here, Uncle Artyom.
Ah, hi, Artyom. See my new place? Fit for a king, I must say. What do you think of this workbench, eh? Everything is within reach, yet there's so much space left. Most of the stuff you and the guys found outside and gave to me went into making this workshop happen. So thank you. We'll have to keep pitching in like this too. Looks like we're facing a long journey, and useful things like ammo or equipment don't grow on trees. Plus, the further from Moscow we get, the harder they'll probably be to get. So don't forget to collect all the materials you find to keep us going. There's so many things to do. I haven't decided where I'm going to work on the suits, but I'll have to, and soon. It's high time we fixed our uniforms. Some of our people are starting to look pretty ragged, you know?
Agreed.
The plate carrier won't hold their back plate anymore, and he jokes that he's lucky it's not the front one, or else his toes would be in danger. Regardless, I am turning this little gang back into a real army. Well, that's it. I bragged enough and won't waste any more of your time. The Colonel summoned you. Well, I have stuff to do too. You guys are fast to break gear, but none too expedient to fix it.
I wish I knew how to fix a weapon like he does.
Uncle Tokarev.
What would you like to ask, Nastya?
Uncle Tokarev, do you have a sewing machine?
No, I don't.
But how are you going to fix the suits then?
Like everyone else, I take a thread and a needle, and I use a sail stitch.
Wow, cool. Can you teach me?
I sure can, but later. I've got work.
I think that'd be awesome to learn to fix this sort of stuff.
Right?
Real sure thing. Oh, but under supervision. Sam is so strict, you know.
Hurrah! And Uncle Sam isn't strict at all. He's kind.
Aw.
All right, look here. I'll show you once. Now we do this.
Oh, smoke break. That's good.
Oh, this is one.
It's made out of a book.
This is rough. Well, nothing we couldn't take.
Well, you are the right kind of guys. You, the Colonel, Duke, that guy did a swell job on that bridge. And now he's bragging about it like a child. He is a child, really, a child. But he's good. So, yeah, what did I want to say? Yes. Thank you. You people accepted me and...
See, it's stuff like this, though. It's stuff like this. You get to bond with the characters, right? You get to share some stories. Just embrace them, hear about them. Just let them talk. Let them know that they're not just like a generic 2D character that some guy came up with in a laboratory. That this is a character, and here he is, and here they are, brought to life with a character, with a personality, with a place and a position. It's great. I love it.
That back, okay? So, how do you like it out here after your tunnels? Sure thing. So much space. It feels too empty to me, though. Just reeds and ruins and those damn mutants. Hey, no, you guys are gonna see the government. So, bratucha, don't be mad, but just tell me, what the hell do you even need them for? Well, of course, it might be interesting to take a look, but throughout all of my rambling, I only met two kinds of ex-government people. Dead ones and gang leaders. And let me tell you, the latter are much worse than your typical bandit. They just had to make a speech before doing something awful.
Right.
So what I mean is, I didn't really care about the government even before the war, much less now, when everything's long since gone to shit. So what for, really? I'm a simple man, Artyomich. I told I'm with you, that means I'm with you for the long haul. But I'd much rather find a nice place to live at than go see the governor. Of course, they could give us luxury bunkers or something. Well, Artyom, you seem cold. Go get warmed up a bit, I'll smoke some more. There's stuff to think about. Or just stay. We have enough space now.
I'll let you have your thoughts, brother. I think that's everything, at least from here.
Yes.
No idea whose room that is. Oh, here we go.
Come on in, have a seat. Stepan's putting on a live performance
Here you go.
here.
So, Artyom, are you up for a jam? Come on, pick the guitar up.
Wi-Fi is being a bit wonky on my end.
Uh-oh. I'll wait for it to stabilize a little bit.
Damn, they took a train and made it a whole set of apartments.
Yep. It's all it takes, man. When you put your mind to things, and especially with this, when you do with what you can, you make it a home.
It's fine, just keeps buffering for some reason.
Thank you, Stepan.
Lol, gonna serenade me, honey.
Absolutely.
He's dead, isn't he?
Dawn of Hope is what that tune is.
Artyom, the colonel's waiting for you on the bridge.
What's up with your plate carrier? Tokarev was mad. It's a long story. Come on, out with it. Well, there I am, sitting on a beam, looking at Artyom milling about below.
Oh, you are so full of it. Tom did most of the work.
That he did, yeah, he did. But you don't have to interrupt. You asked me about the Vest yourselves. Alright, go on. So I see Artyom get to the door, and I think it's time I came down. So I do. But something just holds on to me. What does? Well, how should I know? It's dark, nobody around. But I can't move. And those locals kept going on about Tsar something. So I thought I was in a kind of a bind. So I just unfastened the safety and let down. There was that shed down there. The roof was kind of close.
And what about the Tsar?
Oh, blue, the Tsar was huge, scary as shit. There was this rusty bolt, and my carrier got snagged on it.
I'll drink to that.
Lucky you already have a nickname.
Yep.
That's hilarious. And what was next?
See, now that's how you get a name in the military.
That old preacher of theirs.
Oh, his name would have been probably Rusty.
He swooped in like a hawk. Yeah, he's good. While I was clamoring about those beams and fighting that side. Oh, I'm killing myself. Well, he basically solved the whole problem.
True that. Good job, Artyom.
Yeah, you both did well. Crest also.
Oh, here.
Sure. He did a swell job distracting those guards. I almost wet my pants with laughter when they started hauling that timber. He's an artist.
Yeah, he's a great guy. You all came out on top of the game.
And that calls for what?
A drink.
You nailed it. You truly are one of us now, Sam. Will you be joining us?
Nah, not now. I'll have some at dinner.
Well, you'll have to catch up then.
Sure thing. Anyways, we will just have a little as a warm-up now. Great!
That's some good stuff.
Alright.
Hey guys, there's something I've been thinking about. What does everyone expect of this trip?
Personally, I want to come back and tell Sveta of my adventures, so that she'd look at me with her huge gray eyes without blinking and keep saying, "You're such a hero, darling."
So you're expecting heroics and scars. That works.
And why did you come?
Well, my heart is aching for true romance. But in the Metro, all women want a solid relationship, a reliable husband, a real provider. Enough of that smug smile. It's unbearable. Not that I've had much better luck here so far. As soon as Katya came aboard, Stepan started cooing around her like a peacock.
You should be happy. Katya's a tough girl. You'd be under her thumb in no time.
That is unlikely. I'm not the kind of man to upstage his friend in a contest for a lady. Especially when that friend promises to break my arm.
Saying that that's how guys interact. I love it. I'm dying. Here's the deal, brother. We can be friends. This doesn't have to go anything. Your push says, "I'ma snap your arm in two." Yeah, he's definitely that play guy.
You need to chill, lol.
right? Oh, got some rabbits. Oh. Oh.
Come here, Artyom.
Oh, right. We were gonna look on the. Nah, we'll look in the journal later. That's okay.
Listen.
I like bunnies.
All thanks to Tokarev. He got the decoder working.
I know you do, honey.
Come in, Ark. Over. This is Ark. Identify yourself. Over. This is Colonel Svetoslav Myelnikov speaking. I'm in command of a special operations force. We have received your signal and are currently heading your way. Do you copy? Over. Yes. Hear you loud and clear. Who am I talking to? How do I address you? The Deputy Chief of Communications Department, Major Ivanov. A moment. Oh, yes, Major. I understand that the checkup is in order. Great, Colonel. Melnikov? Simply capable. I am sorry for the lack of trust, but as you know, the situation is
You're
dire,
sketchy.
and he is always ready to strike.
Huh?
I do understand, Major, and I hope that you can tell the leadership that my people are true to their duty and will be at their full disposal as soon as we arrive. Over. Thank you for the great news. How large is your force, Colonel? I have a squad of the best operatives the special forces have to offer. A squad? I see. Well, this is great. Great! Yes, we are a large force, but we bring a message of extreme importance. We are heading towards you from Sector K6 Alpha. Do you have any data on enemy forces we might encounter on the way? Over. In just a moment, I have to check. K6 Alpha, you say? As far as I can see, there have been...
He sounds sus as hell.
Alright, I don't.
I regret. I must end our conversation here, but know that we are waiting for your arrival. I am making my report immediately, and I am sure the Minister of Defense will be eager to see you. This is a great honor. Thank you. Just a few words more, though. What is the general situation there, Major? Please. Colonel, sir, you do understand this is classified information. But I do understand you. We are doing fine. Do not worry. Well, see you in the hour.
That sounds sus as fuck. I don't trust that for a fucking moment.
Over and out.
You just gave away so much information without a single care.
You doubting Thomas? I'm so excited my hands are still shaking. The minister himself. This is incredible.
There's no way to verify that.
You should take a look at the map. As you can see, we're heading almost straight for the Yamato complex.
Gumbus XD.
Tell me that the line there is in decent condition. Surprising, really, taking into account the number of priority targets there.
Okay, do we want to continue on the mission, or
Sailing from here and right to the very destination.
do we want to continue on with the mission? Or explore the train?
Depends on the state of the track. So I think it's going to take us quite some time to get there. So, Yermak, where were we?
You were saying, it's all about results.
Yes. These soft-bellied attitudes must stop. The ends do justify the means.
Well, I don't object. But not all ends can be called just.
Lore is fine.
This is why I have been waiting for a chance like this for ages, and now everything seems to be...
I don't think there's much in terms of things I can explore. I'm gonna check. But I think the only thing I really can do left is... Oh, I can do this. Yeah, screw it. I'll chunk a few in. And then we'll go look in that book. Get a little bit of lore through. Just chill. I love when humanity comes up with the infinite glitch box. It's so good. Just infinitely spawns infinite resources. That'd be the day, eh? If we can just spawn resources out of thin air.
You don't seem to quite grasp the importance, which is unexpected, especially after the news you just heard.
Yes. Well, there is a government. So what? We spent so many years apart, so why worry now?
Ah, but don't you see? They probably knew nothing about us. With the sheer power of enemy strikes directed at Moscow, they never expected so many of us to survive. And now we get to tell them Moscow still lives. And not only that,
For low dumping.
functioning civilization. Do you get that? All these years we were fighting a losing battle for mere survival.
Now I understand.
And now we have a new goal.
And what would that goal be?
You don't get this, do you? The command center should have all of the command and control networks, all the intelligence. They should know where all the nukes hit, have complete fallout maps. They have everything. Information rules the world. And Metro is chock full of people. Put 2 and 2 together, we could repopulate the country. And of course not at once. First, we might have to take the country back. But we'll be doing this under the direction of a real government. People with all the necessary skills. And in the end, we will break out of the underground dead end we are in.
It would be nice, sure. By the way, I meant to ask for some time now. How did you learn about the Yamantau bunker, Colonel?
Oh, the information about the ARC project I have is beyond a doubt. I'm saying this as a crew officer. I had colleagues working there, preparing evacuation plans. So I've been briefed into it officially.
So, now we just have to get there. And we will. We will. The journey won't be easy, though.
We were never looking for an easy way.
Yes. I've been thinking about that for a long time. The Central Industrial District, a priority target. Gatia did confirm my suspicions. The tracks might have survived partially, but the state they're in now is most likely terrible. I think we'll have to fix sections of the track.
I think our people can handle it. Besides, I'm sure there will be sidetracks.
What do you think could have happened in the relatively intact territories in the meantime?
That's a good question. Well, we're going to learn it pretty soon.
Yes. Yes, that we will.
How about you, Demir? What made you go?
Around 3 days passed, and I still kept it in. I just sat there with a needle in my hand and didn't see anything. It was all black before my eyes. And then she snuggles up to me and says, "You should cry, Mom. You will feel better." Seeing used to say it. So I cried and cried. She knows. She knows it all.
I'm sorry, Katja. I'm so sorry.
Let me tell you how we ended up at the bridge. We used to live in northeast from here. Quite close if you go in a straight line. But it took us a month. Everything's bomb trouble out there. Yermak asked me and I told him. Cindy used to say there were lots of military factories out there. Not just military, of course. General industry. And now you can't pass through there even with filters. The radiation is so high. No railway either. Just crater upon crater. We were quite far, but our counter still went crazy. One route appeared intact. There was nothing to bomb. So we used that one, thinking we'd get further to the west, but of course they did not let us cross the bridge with the diesel. They said it was satanic. They were ready to let us stay if we gave them the diesel to cleanse it. So we stayed. And then we couldn't leave, even if we wanted. That old goat, Father Silentius, brainwashed everyone, so they would just pray and bow non-stop. They broke our diesel down with their bare hands and threw it into the river. Purification. And on top of it, they gave us trouble for not helping them. Ksenia went to check what was going on, and there were only locals there. Because Silentius at the Skatina had sent our people away to test them. He said that if they wanted to be truly accepted, they had to defeat a demon. Ksenia went to stop them. But it was too late. He only found burnt rags.
Those are the ones that were
And
killed.
they sent him to the safe.
Honestly, I could fall asleep to this.
Katja, I'm sorry.
Aww.
Wow, you really did. What's done is done.
Should have killed them.
Got so glum here. Perhaps you, Stepan, could play us something.
Sure thing.
So, what was it? The Colonel is always right, and we're just filling our heads with dumb ideas.
Turn this off. There. Just wanted to turn that off.
Do you think that when we come back to Metro, they will believe us? They, who live there, bury their folks there, feed their children with rat meat. It's like living in a fairy tale. A prince has rescued his princess from a monster-infested dungeon and is taking her to his magic kingdom where they are going to live happily ever after. Do you think we're going to find that kingdom in the end? Though, if it's with you, I'll be fine anywhere. Live happily ever after is the most important part as far as I'm concerned. All right, I'll stop going on.
Well, it's you and me.
Yeah. Really is. Alright, let's look up some lore. Let's read up on some information.
Leaving already? Well,
Don't.
go get them, Tiger.
Huh. Alright. Alright. has been years since anyone's heard anything but static and white noise from the radio. Who could have believed we're not alone on this earth? My wife, my comrades from the order, my friends, people from my station, nobody believes that they are sure that there's nothing on the radio, sure that it's safe for us. Who hid in Moscow Metro. There were no survivors of the last war. We are alone on this planet, and in the Metro it's common knowledge. But I did hear that call on the radio with my own ears, yes. It was immediately droned out by the static, but I had heard it, which means that somewhere out there, under the skies, there's still a habitable place that's not doomed to live the rest of our lives underground. Still, nobody believes me. Winter. We stopped 100 clicks from Moscow to check our Geiger counters. Okay, so this is just what we were reading in the beginning. Okay. So the crew. Anna, my Anna, from the very beginning I thought I was not worthy of you. What was I? A nerd guy from a backwater station, a dreamer hearing voices in his head, an adventure seeker. And you, the most beautiful girl in the Metro, the only daughter of the legendary Colonel Miller, the best sniper of the Spartan Order. But how did you put it? There were lots of hard-boiled guys around. God, how much have we been through together? We had our bright days and really dark ones. Our feelings would die out and rekindle again. I even tried to leave, but couldn't go too far. You wanted a normal man, but you still accepted me as I am. You were the only one who didn't consider me mad when I spent days on the surface listening to the radio in fruitless attempts to receiving signals from other survivors. Aw. It is. You knew that every such sortie meant more radiation exposure for me and less chance for healthy children, should we ever have them, and you would still let me go. You didn't prohibit me from dreaming. I always felt your gaze on me when you would cover my back in combat and when I would lose my way. I was always in your field of view. I always knew that nobody could ever replace you. My personal guardian angel of death. If this is not love, what is? Anna, you wanted to believe me and you couldn't. You tried to not pay attention to your father, and you did. The colonel firmly believed that our country is occupied and that the war is still going on, and that makes us jumpy, makes us expect an attack at every turn, makes us look for tactics of enemy presence everywhere. He has us riled up, and Anna is not immune to that. She was so eager to find the occupying forces in that tiny abandoned village near the bridge over Volga that she saw an American banner on a mere old T-shirt, and she went to investigate and fell through the roof of an old chemical storage silo. Luckily, the chemicals seemed to have been long since expired, and Anna got away with just a few bruises. Needless to say, there was not a trace of foreign troops' presence anywhere close. And that would irk me too. Because then she got injured, or possibly sick, for nothing. For a paranoid belief. Miller, Colonel Slavatoslav. I am not gonna try and pronounce that name. The founder and the permanent commander of the Order of Sparta. Miller picked and trained each Spartan individually. He was the only one to come to the rescue of my home station when we were under attack by the Dark Ones. He was the only one to stand between the communists and Nazis and prevent the conflict which would spell the ultimate end of our civilization. It was Miller who accepted me into the Miller and blessed our union with Anna, his only daughter. I became his son-in-law, but could never amass the courage to call him Dad. Nothing but Colonel with a Sir, of course. In the D6 defense, the Colonel lost his best fighters and his old self. Something is forever broken in him. He became a cold, completely intolerant of any dissent. Sometimes I feel he's sorry he didn't object his daughter marrying me. He would have probably preferred Hunter as his in-law, but Hunter is missing, and I dragged his daughter into a maelstrom none of us might have ever emerged from. I dragged the Colonel into the worst adventure of his life. He had to commit high treason to save his daughter, with me in tow. He is convinced that the war is still going on, that Moscow had the fake death to prevent the final murderous strike from being launched against it. But Anna is still his daughter, and I am still one of his soldiers. So he, in advanced age, risked everything he has, his reputation, his position in the metro, the most of his order, everything, to save us too, and maybe somehow get himself out of this mess. We are going to the Yamantau mountain, where the Supreme Commander HQ is located. Only the true government of our destroyed country could now pardon the Colonel for treason. Of course, if they agree to even listen to him at all. There's one problem, though. It's been a few days since we left Moscow, but we have yet to find a trace of occupying forces. That's why he's so excited about it. He's not thinking about the thought of anything like that. He's thinking about occupying forces still and all that, and clearing his name. Clearing their name. That's how Russia is, by the way. If you're against the state, you get the bullet. That's the end of it. And if they even suspect you to be against the state, you'll get a bullet in the back of your head. Even if you weren't, because better safe than sorry, right? That's the way they see it. It's easier to hide a dead body and dispose of evidence. They can do that no problem. It's not easy for them to silence something that's already public. Demir is probably the calmest of all crew members. Demir is also extremely reliable. He'll always be there to help. He always does the hardest part of any job. Goes in the toughest mission, and then instead of talking the well-earned respect and gratitude is one to expect, he starts blushing and says that it has nothing to do with success and it was all just kind of happened that way. There's only one painful issue for Demir, and that's his name. Name given to him by his father, along with half of his blood. Demir can't forgive his father for leaving, going as far as to deny being his bloodkin. Damn. Duke of Darkness, Igor Dukov, the youngest, the bravest, and the craziest of us. Some join the order out of desperation, others to protect people from danger, but Duke just desperately in love with adventure. Whether the Colonel asked for volunteers, Duke is always first to shout, "Me!" no matter how hard or dangerous the mission may be. A shame we don't have any medals in the order, otherwise Duke would be plastered with them. He keeps looking up for more experienced fighters, competing with them for the most kills, missions, and wounds. For some reason, he pays particular attention to comparing his achievements with mine. Perhaps it's because I'm the closest to his age. Anna once said about him, quit your whining, Artyom. There are people here who dream of becoming like you." About Duke, was she right? Possibly. He might have praised and Anna heard it. Igor, despite being called Duke of Darkness, but you can hardly find a lighter-hearted guy. He is but a brat, talking crazy, risking all the time, but Lady Luck smiles to the brave, if not for the trick he paid on Celantis, the Order Obscurant. Our whole operation could have failed. Duke, my friend, your star is undoubtedly on the rise, and soon you will outshine us all. We be of one blood, you and I'm proud of it. Yarmak. The Aurora's permanent helmsman. Yarmak knows her every detail down to the smallest bolt and feels every change in the work of her numerous and truth be told, quite worn out mechanisms. I can't speak. Mechanisms with his heart. Yarmak fit into our group so easily and naturally it seems he was with us since forever, and yet Anna and I met him on a Hansig base, where Tarmac first helped me find my wife and then led us to the hijacking of our beloved cruiser. Still, with Yarmak's background, it's a small wonder he decided to leave Moscow with us. At the other time of our meeting, we had only just learned of Hansig executing everyone trying to enter or leave Moscow. But Yarmak had been living with this terrible knowledge for months, first out of fear for his daughter's life, then after she succumbed to her illness, out of sheer hopelessness. But now he is free, just like the rest of us, and if we ever come back to Moscow, we'll settle our scores with Hansig leadership together. Yarmak says that every man has a destination in life, a place where the fate leads him to, and wherever life becomes hard, sometimes unbearably so, I always recall his words. This might be the end of the line, but it is still not your destination. Get up, walk on. Thank you, Yarmak. And for Idiot. Idiot chose his nickname out of natural humility, or perhaps simply in honor of one of somebody's characters. In fact, he's anything but, being the most educated and well-read soldier in the order, landing the position of Miller's right hand and man back in the metro. The question is, what does he really know about the reasons for people being held in the tunnels, the war that could be still going on, as well as who is really in control of the metro? Idiot likes talking a lot, but he never actually stays much, even if you push him, save for his usual, on one hand, this could be true, while on the other hand, if you feel that the truth is close enough to touch. Talk to Idiot, he'll confuse you completely in no time. One thing about him I don't understand at all is that he could even be looking for fighting. At all is that he even be looking for fighting in the Order's ranks? Possibly. Alaska, the life of every party and avid lady killer, favored customer of the seediest joints on Stefsoni. I can't pronounce those names. And our survival on the surface instructor. After only a cursory glance, he can correctly tell if an abandoned building can last for years or is ready to collapse onto our heads at the lightest touch. While ability saved him back in Moscow more than once, he is the only member of our crew seemingly taking our adventure for an exciting adventure, probably anticipation of new meetings with representatives of the fair sex, of course. He's just in it for the wild party. Got it. Of course he is. Sam is one of the Order's best. He might not be the strongest, fastest, or the best marksman we have, but he can certainly hold his own in a match with Spartan companions in each of these areas, and he definitely is an unusual of us. Sam is an American, a Marine from the U.S. Embassy Guard detail, who just happened to be in the metro when the Judgment Day came, eventually ending up as a Colonel Miller's personal bodyguard. Sam had to sit the battle for D6 out on the account of staying in the hospital with a serious wound, and was really hard on himself for not being there to protect the Colonel when he was needed the most. As soon as he was back on his feet, still all bandaged, Sam could refused to leave the Colonel's side, no matter what. He wouldn't even let anybody else push Miller's wheelchair, even when Andrew, the blacksmith, made the amazing prosthetics the Colonel had been wearing ever since. Sam remained Miller's shadow, and of course joined us aboard the Aurora. All of us, the crew members, are going somewhere. To some kind of destination, as Yarmak puts it, even though none of us know where that destination would be. Sam, though, seems to know the place. If the world outside of Metro is not wiped out, there must be survivors in the U.S., and Sam can't stop thinking about his parents who might still be alive, waiting for their son. I wonder if he feels he's traveling in the right direction with us. While we were waiting for the Aurora's repairs to be completed, thinking on how to cross the river, Sam, in light of our constant mentions of occupying forces, hypothesized himself into believing that the Colonel didn't trust him, and it must be heartbreaking to have served a commander for 20 years with unquestioning loyalty, only to be considered a traitor. But it must have been equally heartbreaking to have become so close to your old enemy, only to learn that your country might still be there after all. And if the war still is going on, whose side are you on? Sam, who are you? Yeah, Stefan. A day-to-day life, Stefan is so calm and nice, it's hard to believe he is a member of the Order. We are a military organization after all, once you see this giant in battle, though you immediately see the reason for him being here. Stefan is completely fearless and amazingly strong. He handles a heavy machine gun as if it were a regular assault rifle. We're lucky to be on Stefan's side. Having him on the enemy would be a disaster. Right until meeting Katya. Stefan has never defied the Colonel, but when Miller didn't want to let the woman and her daughter aboard the Aurora, he started a real quarrel. The Colonel was noticeably thrown off, while the rest of us immediately understood what was going on. Still, as any good commander, Miller quickly saw through Stefan and let himself be talked into letting Katya and Nastya on board. Well, this addition Stefan for sure to never leave the crew. If they didn't bring them, there was a good chance Stefan would not have come with us. He would have stayed, more than likely.
He's got a thing for her.
Definitely does. Oh, everyone knows it. I can't pronounce the name. Partial to the creations of the famous gun designer, he shares the family name with the man in love with his craft. He is constantly busy with the crew's weapons, repairing, maintaining them, and making improvements. He knows everything there is to know about weapons and even more, and can talk about them for hours, but is not really interested in much else. Still, he doesn't just care for our firepower, but also works with our gear, constantly adjusting and inventing new things, laboring day and night to make sure we're all performed to the best of our ability without being hindered by inferior equipment. What will we do without him? On a side note, he seems to be quiet and hopelessly unrequitedly in love with my Anna. He's always worried about her, thinking about her, talking about her, but I can't even bring myself to feel jealous. Katya and Nastya, yeah. I can't really imagine that Katya and Nastya had been through and how they managed to keep their sanity, much less remained as optimistic as they are. A little girl and a tender woman proved to be rougher than fate. taking all the blows that could be thrown at them squarely, and those blows were many and mighty. Right on. They have arrived at Volga with a group of migrants who were on a quest for better life. That quest ended them finding a new faith, and their death along with it, of course. Silantius didn't kill anyone himself. He didn't even order anyone killed. Still, his holy ritual, where an initiate must dispose of an electrical anomaly. Right? Holy ritual where the initiate must dispose of an electrical anomaly to be accepted into the fold. How this is different from a murder in cold blood. It's no wonder that the colonel let Stefan and Anna coax him into letting Katya and Nastya aboard the Aurora. Even though there must be numerous dangers awaiting us still, I would argue that these ladies are tougher than some battle-hardened troopers. Besides, Katya is a trained nurse, and we will most probably need all the medical experience we can get. That's also a bonus. Crest. And the avid storyteller, a talented mechanic and natural-born adventurer who's traveled all across the vast expanses of this threatening world of the surface, so alien to us who'd been through hundreds of scuffles and struck thousands of deals, quite a few of which would well be of the less scrupulous sort. I don't know if Curse will be journeying with us for long, but I am not surprised he had such an easy time fitting in. Right from the start, he gave us a hand with fixing the Aurora, gave us the railcar we've been using in this adventure, and then went with us on the mission to capture the tugboat, giving Duke and me the cover we needed to infiltrate the bridge. It's
sleep, honey. 3, my head's hurting again.
Alrighty, my darling. Even our usually cautious Colin had no second thoughts about welcoming him into the crew. And, well, that's it for them. Oh, new world. Oh, there's still a lot. Well, we don't need to care about the weapons. We don't care much about weapons. That's general. Equipment. Standard equipment. Protects you, does this, da-da-da. Creatures. That's something we'll have to definitely look into at some point. This is the light off 400 for today. Alright, I'm gonna save it with her. And then we're gonna Emily with her. And then we're gonna call it here.
Let's stay like this for a bit longer. Thank you.
Alright, my darling. Time to head off. Get some sleep, honey. I hope your head feels better, okay? I love you, sweetheart.
Love you too, sweetie.